Before he was a 4-year starter at Tennessee, Jarrett Guarantano had over 30 different Division I offers before his junior year of high school and seemed like a lock for the NFL. Now, Guarantano has one last shot to put together a resume good enough to be drafted to the NFL in his 6th year of eligibility. But who is Jarrett Guarantano? In the Who Is series, we go through the backstories of up-and-coming collegiate and pro athletes. If you enjoyed these videos, leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you have not checked out the History Of series yet, make sure you go check it out after this video. Jarrett James Guarantano was born on November 14th, 1997, and grew up in Lodi, New Jersey. His father, James Guarantano, was a star wide receiver at Rutgers from 1989 to 1992, where he set the school record for career receptions and was inducted into the Rutgers Hall of Fame. When Jarrett was in middle school, he received his first collegiate offer from Rutgers after a camp in Piscataway. Before Guarantano even stepped on the field at New Jersey powerhouse Bergen Catholic, he had a Division I offer. Even before Rutgers offered the middle schooler, Notre Dame, Oklahoma, and Boston College were all showing interest in Jarrett. In middle school, Guarantano was spending 5 to 6 days a week trying to reach his full potential, whether it was working on throwing mechanics or working out at the gym. Like I previously mentioned, Jarrett Guarantano attended New Jersey powerhouse Bergen Catholic. Guarantano would not get to start a game until the tail end of his sophomore year, where he would make 4 starts during a 2-win season for Bergen Catholic. Going into his junior year, Guarantano solidified himself as a starter for Bergen Catholic. Although he had not been a full-time starter yet, that did not stop the college offers from coming in. Before his first start his junior year, according to Bleacher Report, Guarantano had over 30 different Division I offers and only 3 varsity touchdowns. For his junior season, Jarrett said, "This year is big for Bergen Catholic and for me. We both have a lot to prove." Unfortunately, his junior season was cut short due to a wrist injury on his throwing hand. He finished his junior season throwing for 1,030 yards and 9 touchdowns and also added 9 touchdowns on the ground. Guarantano looked to rebound going into his senior year and was playing extremely well. USA Today wrote he was putting up MVP numbers. Through the first week of October, he had completed 70.5% of his passes for 1,285 yards and 9 touchdowns, but suffered a ligament injury in his foot against Paramus Catholic. Guarantano finished his high school career throwing for 3,028 yards and 28 touchdowns, while also rushing for 523 yards and 12 touchdowns on the ground. He was a finalist at the Elite 11 and was named a 2016 Under Armour All-American. According to 24/7 Sports Composite, Jarrett Guarantano was a 4-star recruit who was the #1 dual-threat quarterback in the country, 2nd best player in New Jersey, and 79th best player nationally. He had over 30 different Division I offers from all over the country. Although 24/7 Sports Crystal Ball had him choosing between Tennessee and Florida, that's not what his commitment video showed. Guarantano used Bleacher Report as his platform to announce his commitment. In a controversial video to some from the tri-state area, Guarantano walked through Times Square, where he would name Ohio State and Rutgers as possible destinations, along with Tennessee. He declared near the end of the video, "No more noise, no more clutter, no more distractions. I'm ready for what the future holds. Knoxville, Tennessee, here I come." From some of my research, some found the use of Times Square to commit to somewhere other than the tri-state area as a slap in the face, but in the end, that was just the opinion of some writers. Update: I just watched the video, and I could see both sides. My opinion is, Times Square offered so many cool opportunities, and when all said and done, it kinda seemed like a wasted opportunity for how he did it. Guarantano did not see any action his freshman year and decided to redshirt. During his redshirt freshman year, he appeared in 9 games and started 6 games during the second half of the season. He made his first career start against South Carolina in a loss where he threw for 133 yards. His second start came in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, where he threw for 44 yards and an interception. The following week, he rebounded for 242 yards against Kentucky. Guarantano finished his redshirt freshman year throwing for 997 yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and 1 rushing touchdown. Tennessee finished the season 4-8 and lost every SEC game in 2017. In 2018, Guarantano started all 12 of Tennessee's games and showed drastic improvement from 2017. He shattered Tennessee's record for consecutive pass attempts without an interception by throwing 166 straight passes, breaking the record by 23 attempts. Garantano's best game of the season came against Auburn when he threw for 328 yards and 2 touchdowns in a Tennessee win. Garantano once again struggled against Alabama, only throwing for 63 yards and missed the majority of the game against Alabama and Missouri due to injuries. In a loss to South Carolina, he threw for 207 yards and 2 touchdowns. Garantano finished the season throwing for 1,907 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions, while Tennessee finished 5-7 and missed a bowl game once again. In the 2019 season opener, Garantano threw for 311 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception in an upset loss to Georgia State. Later in the season, Garantano threw for 415 yards and 2 touchdowns in a win over Missouri, 24-20. During a Gator Bowl win over Indiana, Garantano threw for 221 yards and 2 interceptions. He finished the season throwing for 2,158 yards, 16 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Tennessee finished the season going 8-5 and 5-3 in the SEC. Going into Garantano's redshirt senior year, Tennessee went in with high expectations. Garantano started off the season strong, throwing for 259 yards and 1 touchdown, while also adding a rushing touchdown in the season opener win over South Carolina. Against Missouri, he threw for 190 yards and 1 touchdown, while also having 2 rushing touchdowns on the ground. Things were looking up for Tennessee as they went into the Georgia game 2-0, ranked 14th in the nation. Garantano threw for 215 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception, and the Vols were rolled by Georgia 44-21. Garantano threw for 162 yards and 2 touchdowns in a loss to Alabama and finished the season going 2-5 as a starter before being replaced by JT Strout and Harrison Bailey in the last 3 games of the season. The Vols finished the season 3-7 in an SEC-only schedule. After the season, Garantano announced he was going to be entering the transfer portal. Usually a 4-year starter would not have a 6th year of eligibility, but due to the events of 2020, the NCAA decided to freeze eligibility this year, which created this opportunity for Garantano. Jarrett Garantano finished his career at Tennessee playing in 41 games where he would make 32 starts. He threw for 6,174 yards and 38 touchdowns in his career and joined Peyton Manning and Tyler Bray as the only Vols quarterbacks in school history to throw for 400 yards in a game. He graduated from Tennessee with a bachelor's degree in psychology in December of 2019 and was pursuing a master's degree in agricultural, leadership, education, and communications. When Garantano announced he was going to be transferring, there were rumors that he may return home to New Jersey and play at Rutgers. Instead, he decided to transfer to Washington State. This is the 3rd time Washington State has recruited a transfer quarterback since 2018. The first time paid off when Gardner Minshew had one of the best seasons as a grad transfer in college football history when he led Washington State to an 11-win season and finished 5th in Heisman voting. The second time happened in 2019 when Mike Leach recruited Eastern Washington's Gage Gubert to Pullman, but he lost the position battle to Anthony Gordon. There is no guarantee that Garantano will win the starting spot, as he will be competing against 4 other scholarship quarterbacks, barring transfers within the program, which are expected to happen with Gunnar Cruz and Cameron Cooper. If you enjoyed this video, check out my other videos in the Who Is series. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.